Hey Santosh. Hey, good afternoon, man. Good afternoon. Right, I see Kurt here too. Good afternoon. Hey guys, welcome. Welcome to today's webinar. Thank you for thank, thank you for tuning in nice and early. Right, yeah. Thank you for tuning in nice and early. It'll be a fun session today. It'll be a fun session today. Right, looking at some of the top price action setups. Right, which I've used very well in the past. Right, and yeah, I can see a whole bunch of you guys streaming in. Are you guys able to see? Are you guys able to see me, and are you guys able to hear me clearly, along with being able to see my screen? Right, just need to check a couple of these, ensure that everyone's able to see the screen. Cool. All right, yeah. So there is one of the great things that Zoom has is that it has a this little window where you can send in your chat messages, right? So please do that, right? Yeah, please do that so that I literally have another screen open by the side. So anytime any of you guys have any questions, you can send it right through. I'll do my best to answer them. Okay. Now let's give it one more minute while the rest of the people stream in, right? Give it one more minute, right? Just let me tidy up the MT4 indicators and stuff that we're showing today. Yeah, let's give it one more minute. Cool. Okay, anyway, let's begin today's session. All right, let's begin today's session. Guys, thank you for tuning in to today's webinar. Right, we're going to talk about the top price action setups, right? Top price action setups, right? And it will be talking about the top 3 single candlestick patterns, top 2 double candlestick patterns, and top 1 single candlestick patterns that we're looking at. So we're looking at single, double, and triple candlestick patterns, right? It's going to be pretty interesting, right? I'll be showing you how they look like in action later, right? And we have a giveaway. We have a little bit of a promotion later, rather, for everyone who is attending, right? And to get a copy of this price action indicator which we created, right? Or rather, which I created. And yeah, without further ado, let's begin today's session. All right. So anyway, guys, just a quick reminder that everything in this webinar is educational in nature. So please do your own due diligence before you guys trade. Nothing in this webinar should be construed as investment or trading advice. All right. Now let's begin. Let's begin today's session. Okay. For those of you guys who are here for the first time, quick introduction to myself. My name is Desmond Leong. I run the award. Let me just pull out the pen over here. Yeah, I run the award-winning research firm, Everest Fortune Group, and also the Forex Army. We're finalists for 2019, 2020, and 2021 for Best FX and Best Equity Research. Right, so very strong team of traders, right? And we usually work with the major financial institutions to forecast where the markets are heading. But we have a special partnership with IronFX where we're bringing you guys the good stuff, the juicy stuff, the institutional grade education that will help you improve your trading. Okay, now let's move on from here. Okay, the agenda for today, right? We're going to look at quickly, introduction to price action, right? We're going to look at anatomy of a candlestick. We're looking at later. We're going to be looking at some reversal and continuation setups. Mainly, we'll be looking at single candlestick patterns, right? We're looking at single, double, and triple. These are the few. Candlestick patterns that I personally feel are the strongest after testing out repeatedly over so many years, right? And I'll be showing at the end we have a little bit of a bonus, right, which is our candlestick indicator, giveaway. Okay, yeah, candlestick indicator right at the end. Okay, now guys, price action. Okay, the important thing about price action is that it is usually very, if you think about it, it's very effective in the tick of the action, right? When you're trading, right? Usually, when you're trading, right? Imagine we have something like this, right? So we have a support line over here, right? And we think that prices is coming down, is coming down, is coming down. We think that prices is going to come down here and it's going to bounce up, correct? So in this case, right, what we usually do is we look at this movement over here. When price touches this level, when it's in the tick of the action, that's where we look for price action. We look at candlestick patterns, right? If price comes down here and it forms, right? And we're going to zoom into here, okay? We're going to zoom in into here, right? If it forms this candlestick pattern, right? If it forms, this is a red candlestick pattern. If it forms this candlestick pattern, right? If it forms this candlestick pattern, right? Or it forms this candlestick pattern, right? We got so many different kind of candlestick patterns over here. You know, got 1, 2, 3. You got many. You know, price can form many different kind of patterns, right? In the tick of the action, right? Price action, literally, right? The candlesticks that are formed. You know, there can be many. You know, you can even have an engulfing candle over here, right? A few different patterns. Depending on the pattern that is formed, it affects the probability of how profitable or how accurate your setup is going to work. If it forms this kind of candlestick pattern right at here when you're expecting a bounce, this you can give it 3 stars, 3 ticks, correct? If it forms the same candlestick pattern but it's in red, right, maybe you can only give it 2 sticks. If it forms this kind of candlestick, there's nothing much to it, right? If it forms this kind of candlesticks, right, so you know this is clearly there's a lot of strength on the bears, but you know it's okay, right? The price still close above, the open. It's okay. This one you probably give it 1 candlestick. This one I probably give it maybe 2. So you notice that depending on what happens over here, price action, you need to look at this part action, right? In the tick of the action, what is happening, right? And that's one thing which this kind of candlestick patterns is really great, right? When price has triggered your entry, you will look at all of this, right? You look at all of this, you look at all these different patterns, and from there, you can decide how good your setup is going to be, whether you want to get in more, you want to allocate more to the trade, right? So this is an important thing to take note of, that candlestick patterns, price action happens in the tick of the action. All right, now you can see quite a number of additional people have streamed in, right? A quick reminder to you guys, please use this part called the chat section over here, right? I'm going to send a message through. You guys should be able to see it, right? Oh, I need to change my name. I think my name is wrong. My name is Desmond Leong, right? Yeah, please. So please use this chat section to send your messages through. Do try, you know, if I may request, right? You know, it's okay to send some messages once in a while. Otherwise, it's gonna sound pretty lonely for me, right? You know, as if I'm talking to it's like no one, right? So it'd be nice if you guys can send some questions through, right? At least I know guys are listening, or if you have questions, right, I can answer them right away. Okay, so please, if you may do that for me. Okay, now let's continue from here, right? The next thing I'm going to focus on is this thing called anatomy of a candlestick, right? Anatomy of a candlestick, right? So we got a bullish candlestick here and we got bearish candlestick. Okay, got bullish and a bearish candlestick over here. What I need to know is that over here is where price opens. Okay, this is the open price. When the closing price is above the open price, right? That's where you get a green candlestick. You know, you get a green candlestick. If the closing price is below the open price, as you can see over here, that's where you get a red candlestick, showing that, you know, it's a bearish candlestick. The wicks over here are just the upper and low. We call it the wick. Some of you guys call it the shadow. Some of you guys call it the wick, right? It just basically means the highest point of price and the lowest point of price during this candlestick. So in this example, you know, price could have opened over here. It could have went all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom, all the way, and it closed over here. So this could be the journey. This could be journey of a candlestick. It could have been the other way too. You know, it could have opened over here, drop all the way down first, come up, drop down, come up, drop down, you know. But as long as it reaches the high, it reaches the low, and it closes over here, that is basically what it means, right? So when you look at a candlestick, it's just good to know what it means, right? This is the anatomy of a candlestick, okay? So let's dive into how you can use these candlestick patterns to really trade. And this is where the juicy stuff comes in, all right? So let's just talk about in candles, in trading, there are two main ways that people trade, right? One is the reversal, and one is the bounce. So reversals, right? If you see a key level over here, reversals are this, right? Bam, you are playing the reversal. The other one is the breakout, right? You have the same move. When price comes down here, bam, it goes through. So there are really two styles of playing, of trading. You're either playing reversals or you're either playing breakouts. So the great thing is that candlestick patterns do a really good job in helping you filter out whether this breakout is a confirmed breakout. You know, so I think many of us have experienced situations where, you know, it looks like, for example, it looks like price might break out over here. You think that is breaking out the channel, but then it reverses, right? Or maybe it looks like price is breaking out this little bit of trend line. You think it's going to go out, but then it reverses upwards instead, right? So one way to avoid getting what I call faked out, right? Faked out is FAKED. One way of getting faked out to avoid one way to avoid getting faked out is by using candlestick patterns. They're really effective in helping you avoid getting faked out, because it tells you what is happening there and then. It tells you what the market is feeling, right? And like, for example, in this case over here, right, a very nice doji, or rather shooting star formation, suggests that, you know, there is unlikely to see prices break up further, because there's a lot of it's a bearish reversal sign, right? So over here, this is a very nice hammer, a little bit of a hammer formation, suggesting that there's a lot of price rejection when price is trying to break out the channel. It's another indication that, hey, this breakout is not as obvious as it seems, right? It will likely just not break out and just bounce from here, right? So candlestick patterns are very good in helping you get more accurate reversals and more accurate breakouts. Now, so let's look at this example, a reversal, right? So we can see price dropping lower, and it has now touched the channel, right? It has touched the channel and it has formed a morning star formation. A morning star formation is like this, right? So you got one candle here, you got something like this kind of a candle where there's very small body, right? And then you have a bullish candle, right? So you got bearish candle over here, right? You got this this thing looks like a star in the sky, right? And you got bullish candle. So a morning star formation is a very good sign that, you know, price is going to reverse from there. You notice how you can combine a morning star formation with a channel support, right? With a channel support. So you don't only have one reason why price is going to bounce, but you have two reasons, right? Trend line support, and you got channel support. You got three reasons why price is going to bounce. From here, we can see that price indeed, it bounces up really nicely, right? It bounces up really nicely. And this is just a very good example of how you can use candlestick formations, price action at key reversal, at key support and resistance levels to know how to know the probability to increase the probability of your trades working out. Okay, now one thing you notice is that there's already, you know, if you guys have been following our previous webinars on overlap support and resistance and stuff like that, right, you notice that there's a very nice resistance level over here. Price not only bounce up from here, but you have one candle, two candles, and three candles that rise up very strongly. I think it's over here 1, 2, 3. Anyone want to take a guess? What kind of candlestick pattern is this? Where you have three green candles in a row. You have three green candles in a row. Does anyone want to take a guess? What is this particular kind of candlestick pattern? You don't need to reply to everyone. You know, you can You can reply to hosts and panelists. You can reply to everyone, right? I can see some people replying to hosts and analysts, right? And panelists. Answer is correct. It is the 3 white crows. No, not 3 white crows. I mean 3 white soldiers, right? So we have this thing called a 3 white soldiers kind of candlestick pattern, which is a very good indication that of momentum in a single direction, right? So if price breaks out of this resistance using a 3 white crows pattern, it gives you much more confidence that price will continue up from here, right? Versus price, using a different kind of candlestick pattern. So candlestick patterns are very good for reversals, and it's also very good for breakouts, right? So like in this example here, we have a very nice resistance area over here. Price react off once, price bounce off once, bounce off another time, react off, right? We have a very nice resistance level over here. So it's clearly a resistance level to break through. What happens since then is that you have 1, 2, 3. You got a 3 white crow formation, three white soldier formation. You got 3 white soldier formation, and the close of the third soldier is above this resistance level. What this then suggests is that it can actually give you a much higher confidence that price is going to move up from here. The soldiers, as if they are marching, right? They're going to continue marching on, right? They got the momentum on their side. They're going to continue moving forward, right? And this is another way where you can contrast this to the third candle. If the third candle was something like this, right? Maybe like this is a red candle, but it's like this, right? Then there's a higher chance that price might reverse from here. But because it has a 3 white soldier kind of formation, right, it gives you a very strong chance that the breakout is going to be successful, right? True enough, you got a 3 white soldiers formation over here, and bam, it just takes off in that direction. Okay, so you can see how using price action, using different kind of candlestick patterns can actually greatly increase your chances of having a trade, a breakout, or reversal work nicely. Okay. So the opposite of 3 white soldiers is of course this pattern called the 3 black crows. 1 black crow, 2 black crows, 3 black crows. A key point to take note about whether it's a 3 white soldiers or a 3 black crows is that generally they are sizable. They are sizable candles. What I mean by this is that the soldiers need to be big soldiers. The soldiers over here, right? They need to be 1, 2, 3. They need to be sizable soldiers, right? They need to be strong, right? They cannot be a tiny soldier, right? A tiny soldier is not going to be very strong, right? Tiny soldiers, you can just squish them, right? They're not going to be that strong. But if you got 3 strong soldiers, right, that's where you have the enough momentum to carry the trade forward. Same thing with crows. You need 3 big crows over here. You cannot have 3 tiny crows, 3 tiny crows over here and expect prices to have enough momentum to break out in their direction, right? So a key thing to consider is that a lot of people, when they look at the definition of 3 white soldiers, right? Okay, you need 3 bullish candles in a row, right? And they look at these 3 bullish candles is very different from these 3 bullish candles, right? And all the way up here. This version 1 is very different from version 2. Version 2 is a very strong, it's maybe the Captain Americas, right? Version 2 is like Captain Americas. Version 1 is like the weak soldiers, right? They haven't even passed the basic training yet or something, right? So important consideration when it comes to trading this using price action to trade. I'm going to touch on the top 3 single candlestick patterns I like. Okay, now the first one, right, is the hammer stick candle. Right? Why is a hammer? Is that a hammer is actually at the bottom of you look at it, it looks like a hammer. How does a hammer look like? This is how a hammer looks like, right? So same thing over here, right? The hammer is one of my favorite candlestick patterns, right? What basically happens here, right? So you must think about it from a psychological point of view. The price opens over here, right? Price open over here. The bears push prices all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. Right? What happened next is that the bulls take over, they push it up all the way up to the entry, and they push it up even further. Right? They push it up even further and they close to the top. You notice that there's very little very little shadow, there's very little wick right at the top, right? And it closes off over here. This momentum up is a very, very strong bullish momentum. Okay, and that is why it's one of the strongest kind of single candlestick patterns you can use. Now, the important thing about a hammer is that it needs to look like a hammer, right? Hammers have a big head, right? Hammers have a big head and hammers have a long hand. A hammer cannot look like this, right? This cannot be a hammer, right? This is a, I don't know, this is a toy hammer. This is a thumbtack. This is something else. This is definitely not a hammer, right? So when you're looking at hammer, remember, you need a long wick down here, because this long wick shows that the bears actually pushed prices down quite a bit, but the bulls took over and really, really pushed them all the way back to entry and even beyond the entry, higher to the closing price up there, right? So that's the important thing about hammer stick candles. Okay. Now the same hammer, when it is at the top of so this I would give it 3 ticks. Okay, this is a very strong pattern. This pattern over here, I actually will only give it 1 tick. Okay, now the reason for this is because the same hammer candlestick pattern, right, at the top of we call it hanging man, right? We call it hanging man at the top of at the top of a trend, right? The reason why it is not as effective, right, is because you must look at the psychology of the rather anatomy of the candle. We have price opening over here, price open over here. The bears initially push prices all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, right? But the bulls took over and it pushed it all the way up, all the way up, all the way up. It made up for a lot of the position and it ended over here. So if you think about it, the bulls have quite a bit of momentum, right, pushing prices up, right? So that is very different, because in this case, it pushes it all the way up to entry and even higher, right? For the bearish candlestick, yeah, it pushes this up, right? But the most recent action that happened is that, price has been, it shows that there's a lot of bears that are coming, a lot of bulls that are coming into here. So a hanging man candlestick pattern, I'm only going to give it 1 tick, right? Versus a hammer candlestick pattern where you got 3 ticks for how effective it is. But the opposite is now true for here. A shooting star candlestick formation, a single shooting star candlestick formation has 3 ticks for me, right? It's one of the best. The reason for this is because you can see it over here. Price opens over here. The bulls push it all the way up, all the way up, all the way up. The bears take over, it pushes it all the way down, and not only back to the entry, but even slightly beyond the entry and right to the closing price. So that to me shows that there's a lot of bearish downside momentum that is pushing prices down from here, which is why the shooting star formation is actually is the equivalent of this. Is the equivalent of this, right? The shooting star formation is a very good single candlestick pattern to suggest bearishness. Right, for the bullish candlestick pattern, right, the inverted hammer, I'm only going to give it 1 star for the same reason. You need to think about it from an anatomy of a candle. Price opens over here, it pushes it up all the way. It thought it was going for a fun ride, easy ride, but the bears took over and it pushed it all the way back, and it closes, pretty close to its open price, right? So it kind of shows that the bears are actually pretty strong, right? And they can really take the fight to the bulls if they want to. That's why inverted hammer kind of candlestick is only 1 tick for me. But a shooting star candlestick, right, is 3 ticks for bearish. 3 ticks for bearish. This is a hammer is 3 tick for bullish, right? Those are the important patterns which, if you have a pen and paper, you want to take it down, you want to take a screenshot. These are the important ones that you need to take note of. Okay. Now, the last single candlestick pattern, which I think is very, very effective, is the Dragonfly Doji and the Gravestone Doji, right? So the Dragonfly Doji, right, it looks like it looks like a dragonfly. This is how a dragonfly looks like, something like that. right? And it got wings here. Kind of look like that, but you know, you can see a Dragonfly Doji is like that, right? So this resembles a Dragonfly Doji. This resembles a gravestone, right? I don't need to remind you guys what a gravestone is, but yeah, it reminds a gravestone. Dragonfly Dojis are very, very effective at the bottom of a trend, right? Because what has happened? Price open here, it pushed it all the way down. You know, it took it. The important thing about dragonflies is that you notice a dragonfly has a small body, a small head, but a super long body, right? The long body is important because in this case, the long body shows that price was pushed all the way down by the bears, but the bulls took over, pushed it all the way, and then went all the way back to the open price, right? So this the Dragonfly Dojis are super duper strong. They're only strong at the bottom of a trend. They are not so strong at the top, right? Because if you have it at the top, right? If you think about it, you got a candle, you got a candle, and then you got a candle. You got a Dragonfly Doji over here, right? It actually says that the bulls tried to push up. No, you can't do. No, a Dragonfly Doji won't be like a Dragonfly Doji will be like that over here, right? It shows you the bulls pushing down, it pushed back up, and it couldn't push up any further. Because it couldn't push up any further, it actually is not such a great bullish reversal sign. Dragonfly Dojis are most effective when you find it at the bottom of a trend. I'll give this 2 stars, 2 ticks. Okay. Gravestone Dojis. Gravestone Dojis are very effective at the top of trend. It shows you that price open over here. Bulls were pushing up all the way to the top. The bears took over, won them, pushed it all the way down, right? And it ended at the entry. So what is happening? There's this nice little downside momentum that's going to push prices down from here. That's why the Gravestone Doji is very good when you find it at the top of a trend, right? But it's not going to be very effective if you find it at the bottom of a trend. Okay. Now, so I'm going to give the Gravestone Doji 2 ticks, as you can see over here. Now next, engulfing candles, right? Engulfing candles, right? The first thing I want to do is that my favorite double candlestick pattern is the engulfing candle. Engulfing candle basically means that, right, if this is a bullish engulfing candle, it means that the bullish candle completely engulfs, right? The open and the close basically is bigger than the open and the close of the previous candle. You can see the open and the close is bigger than the open and close of the previous candle. When you're trading stocks, when you're trading, for example, when you're trading stocks, you might see something like this, you know, a bearish candle and a bullish candle over here. However, when you're trading Forex, because the Forex market is open 24/5, right? There is rarely ever time where you're going to see like this kind of gap over here, right? Instead, you will see something more similar to this, where the open price is pretty similar, pretty close. You know, this open price is very close to this close price, right? So that's the difference when it comes to Forex. Don't expect to see such a clear engulfing pattern with Forex. An important tip that I need to teach you guys over here is that the engulfing candle, this engulfing candle is only as strong, right? It's only as strong as the enemy it wins, okay? For example, if I have 2 different engulfing candles, like let's talk about bullish engulfing candle. I have one candle here, one candlestick over here, right? And this is a bearish candlestick. And I have this bullish candlestick. Versus I have one candlestick over here. This is a bearish candlestick. And this is a bullish candlestick. Between 1 and 2, you need to ask yourself, which engulfing candle, which bullish engulfing candle pattern is stronger, right? If you think about it, right? Have you ever been to those boxing matches? You got featherweight, you got lightweight, you know, you got heavyweight, you got different people boxing, you know, they compete in the same class. If you watch the Premier League, right? There's a Premier League, there's the Coca-Cola League, right? There's the championship, right? There are those that are lower. In this example, it's like Manchester United, right? Manchester United plays against maybe Luton Town, right? Yeah, this is a Premier League side like Manchester United playing against like Luton Town, which is maybe a championship side. When Manchester United wins, is it something fantastic? Not really. People will go like, yeah, you know, you're expected to win. You're Manchester United. You're playing against a championship team. Yeah, you know, you're expected to win. There's nothing great. But in this case, right, it could be an example where maybe this is Manchester United, and this is maybe I'm gonna call it Manchester City. So Man U wins Man City, right? This is something big to talk about, right? Clearly, it shows that wow, you are strong, right? You're strong, right? In this case, your strong bullish candlestick is going to go up, right? And so your opponent matters when it comes to engulfing candles. If you're just going to fight a tiny candle before you, no one's going to care. No one's going to care that you are an engulfing candle, right? No one's going to care how strong it is. But if you have a previous candle which was really big and your engulfing candle that's even bigger, you won a big battle, that is worthy of headline news, right? That is worthy to see that, okay, price might be going off in this direction very nicely. Okay, so this is one important consideration that when you're trading engulfing candles is that you need to see the size of the candlesticks. Another important thing to take note of is that engulfing candles, stay away from tiny engulfing candles, right? If you have one tiny candle here, yep, and you got a bigger, tinier candle here, one bearish candle, one bullish candle, you know, is this might be a bullish engulfing, but this is not as great as yeah, I mean, this is not as great as this bullish engulfing over here, right? This is too small, right? You know, it's like two championship teams playing with each other, right? Yeah, they win, that's great, you know, they are of equal size, but in the bigger picture of things, no one watches the championship, like everyone watches the Premier League, right? So this is where the big battles occur, right? You want to keep your eye out on the bigger battles. You don't want to see the tiny battles and don't want to get distracted by them, okay? The other favorite double candlestick pattern I have are the tweezer bottoms and the tweezer tops, okay? Tweezer bottoms, as the name suggests, right? The wick, as you can see over here, it looks like a tweezer, right? And the tweezers, the thing about tweezers is that their little arms, the wicks tend to be about at the same level. One should not be a lot lower than the other, or one should not be a lot higher than the other, but they should be roughly at the same length, because what it says is that if you look at it, price open over here, went down, all the way down, and it end over here. Now, when it opens over here, not only does it go down, it goes down to the exact same price, it bounces up, it goes past your initial closing price, and it ends over here. It closes higher, right? So a tweezer bottom is a very good sign. It's actually a pretty good sign, right, for prices going to a bounce. I would give this a good 3-star, a 3 tick, right? It's the same thing with a tweezer top. I will give it a good 3 tick, right? That is going to be a very nice bearish move. Same thing to do with bullish engulfing. If it's a big enough bullish engulfing, I'll give it a good 2-star, a good 2 ticks. Good enough bearish engulfing, I'll give it a good 2 ticks. Okay, so just take note of like which are the stronger single and double candlestick patterns over here. The last candlestick pattern I'll talk about, right, is the triple candlestick patterns. Morning star and evening star, right? Morning stars, you usually see them less. You notice there's a nice big gap over here, right? There's a nice big gap over here, right? There's a nice big gap over here. So morning and evening stars, right? This gap happens more in the stock market or when you're trading the daily chart or maybe the weekly chart. Oh yeah, I mean a daily chart over the weekend, right? But when you're trading Forex, you are most likely going to see something like that. Something like that. This is bearish candlestick. You're going to see a bullish candlestick over here, right? And then you're going to see another bullish candlestick over here, right? It's most likely going to be this case. There will not be these big gaps in between because, again, it's a Forex market. So there's less time where the market is closed, right? And less gaps that you're going to see. But these are two of my, this is one of my favorite triple candlestick pattern, right? The morning star formation where, comes down, bounces up, right? And the evening star formation where, you got a nice candle, price closes up, very small, very little indecision, but it's a nice candlestick formation there. But you need to wait for this confirmation, right? Because this forms that nice little reversal pattern. This forms a nice little reversal pattern, right? And it suggests that prices can continue from there. Of course, again, an important consideration to take note of. My last favorite triple candlestick pattern is the 3 black crows and 3 white soldiers, which I mentioned to you previously, right? The 3 white soldiers, right? You usually want to look for soldiers which are of the same size. You want to look at crows which are of the same size. So important considerations, right? They need to be sizable. They need to be sizable, and they need to be big. No, it's not big. I mean of equal. The best case is if they are of equal size, right? So sizable means they're big, right? They're not these tiny crows. These tiny crows won't mean much, right? But they are big enough, right? They're big enough to suggest that these are big players, right? This is big, 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 this is big. They're big enough so that they know, people know that they are a force to be reckoned with. Okay. Yeah. So 3 black crows and 3 white soldiers are two of my is another of my favorite triple candlestick pattern you can use when trading, especially useful when you're playing because you can use it to play breakouts, you can use it to play reversals. In this case, once at a reversal, right, if you notice 1, 2, 3, 3 white crows, you have a much higher chance that the momentum will take you all the way there, right? At the same time, right, in our example over here, you can see that 3 white soldiers can happen. 3 white soldiers can happen, right? And it can also lead to the 3 white soldiers breaking a resistance level, right? And it gives you much more, a much higher chance that price might work out quite nicely in your favor, right? It might continue to rise quite nicely in the direction that the 3 white soldiers are marching. Okay. Now, guys, now I do want to share with you guys a couple of things. One is the VIP room, and the other is the candlestick indicator, which we currently have, right? So we are gonna have a nice little promotion for you guys to get access to this candlestick indicator. It's a pretty good indicator because what it does is that it actually calculates, right? It doesn't only look for the bullish, like the candlestick pattern, right? But it actually calculates the drop before the candlestick pattern. Because when you find a candlestick pattern over here, right, if you don't know how to filter it properly, and there was a previous candlestick pattern here, previous candlestick pattern here, it's not going to be effective. So it finds a little bit less candlestick patterns, but the ones that it does find is super powerful, right? So you notice that yes, a nice how it does look for patterns is that if there's a bearish reversal pattern, there's a nice little sustained rise, right? Before finding it, then you look for the reversal. You cannot look for a shooting star formation like this, right? A shooting star formation should not be like this, right? A going up, right? Coming down here, right? Small little shooting star formation over here, and then going up again, right? So in this example, right, what it does is that it looks for a nice sustained rise before a bearish reversal pattern, and in this case, it looks for a nice sustained drop before a bullish reversal formation. The reason why, if you do not use these filters, what you might end up getting is this. This is, if you search for most popular like top candlestick pattern indicators out there, this is one of the indicators that you're going to get. You can buy, sell. It gives you literally a candlestick pattern every single, every other bar, you get a candlestick pattern, right? If you tell you to buy when there's a bullish candlestick pattern and sell when there's a bearish candlestick pattern, you're going to be losing a lot of money. Okay, you can see there's just way too many candlestick patterns over here. In the same way, over here, right, there's this other one, there's a literally bearish candlestick patterns, bullish candlestick patterns. Every single candlestick pattern is just lumped together, and it gives you a very low chance of being correct. Okay. Instead, what we have done is we've created a candlestick indicator that allows you, if you look at it, it finds a nice candlestick pattern over here, nice reversal. Shooting star formation, reversal, right? Shooting star formation, reversal, right? It finds very nice candlestick patterns. What we've done is we've actually put in put into place a lot. You can see these are all the indicator I created has so many fields to use that we had to use an Excel sheet just to calculate, just to create the settings, right? The settings, there's so many different parameters that are used to make the most accurate kind of candlestick patterns that we were not able to squeeze it into an indicator. MT4 does not have enough, basically, the program could not support the number of fields that we had. So we needed to put it into another indicator. No, we need to put it into an Excel sheet to read from. And interesting thing is that, yeah, you can search for best candlestick pattern indicator. Yeah, I think you can search for best candlestick pattern indicator MT4, I think. Yeah, there we go. So you search even for like best candlestick pattern indicator MT4, you can see we're up here among the top few results, like the candlestick pattern indicator we created, right? Very, very strong candlestick pattern indicator, which I'll be showing you, right? This is an example of the candlestick pattern indicator, right? Let me see if I can, if there's a pen. I don't have a pen over here, all right? But you can see how it has found, in this case, a bullish, let's see, a bullish engulfing candle. Very nice bullish engulfing. And that's a nice bounce. Let me just pick this, oops, sorry. I have a drawing tool over here, right? And I'm going to pick this, right? You can see how it found this very nice pattern. It bounced up nicely. It found a very nice bullish Dragonfly Doji, and price really just bounced off very nicely from there, right? I think it has a couple more times. Bullish hammer pattern, it bounced up very nicely. Evening star pattern, it dropped very nicely. I think, yeah, this one I found multiple. Shooting star formation, shooting star, right? Many of it together, right? And it's a nice little drop from there. This one didn't work out very well. We were hoping that this hammer pattern would bounce, but it didn't work out. So this one didn't work out, but this shooting star dropped very nicely. This strong bearish engulfing candle dropped very nicely. Yeah, Sahid, I will upload this to YouTube, right? I'll show you how to get access to it. But just looking at the candlestick patterns over here, right? This was a nice little reversal, right? Nice reversal over here. This one was a small reversal, didn't do that great. This movement, nice bounce from here, nice reversal from here. This one didn't do well. This one, would have been a lot losing trade. This was a nice shooting star formation. This was a nice Dragonfly Doji, bouncing a bit. Nice drop, nice bounce, right? So a lot of different kind of patterns, as you can see. Nice drop, nice drop. This one didn't work out very well, but you notice that the hit rate, this pattern over here, price rising from there, the hit rate is pretty good, right? Honestly, the hit rate is pretty good for this indicator, right? So you can see after this, it bounces up. After this pattern, this shooting star pattern, it drops very nicely, right? So we have one of the best candlestick patterns out there. I think usually it costs 150 USD just to get access to it. But we're running a promotion where as long as you have an IronFX account, you're going to, with $250 in it, you're going to get access to it, right? I'm going to show you that this is how it does, right? It actually calculates the size of the drop before it. Size of the drop before the pattern occurs. And then it tells you how effective, the possibility of the price rising nicely in your favor, right? So this, you can be 5 times ATR with 30 bars, or you can have 100 bars and 10 times ATR. So this shows that there must be a super duper big rise before a nice candlestick pattern, and usually that gives way to a very, very nice big drop. Because if you do not have this ATR filter, what happens is this: hammer formation, hammer formation. So you look at this, right? You have, if you imagine you're selling over here, you got all these bullish hammerstick patterns. This candlestick indicator is no, right? You're going to lose a lot of money here. The same thing over here, you're going to lose a lot of money, right? You need the filter, right? Because once you have a filter like this, right? This is a strong filter to give yourself before a pattern, then you can see a nice rise. Okay, so this is one of the tricks that I hope to be teaching you guys, right? whenever you're looking for candlestick patterns, right, you need to look for not only the pattern, but the move that is leading up to the pattern. Okay, the move that is leading up to the pattern. Now, this is another example, right? Yeah, maybe we can load the indicator and we can see a couple of how it works in real time, right? I cannot change any of these results. I'll just load it and show you guys, right? You can see a hammer pattern, very nice drop, but it first requires a nice little rise, hanging man, then it drops, right? The indicator is very simple. You just load it onto your chart, right? And you can see it shows you all the indicators in real time when it is being formed, right? Nice engulfing candle here, nice hanging man. This shooting star formation was very nice before it dropped. Engulfing candle was nice here before it bounced. This didn't work very nicely. This one touch, you would probably have got stopped out of this trade, right? Evening star here. This engulfing candle, right? It's nice. Yeah. This one didn't. This didn't work out very well. These two trades didn't work out very well. These trades did work out very nice. It caught one of the biggest drops, right? With candlestick. I think it's a very nice drop from here, right? So yeah, you know, this candlestick pattern indicator, right, is something which you can use to complement your trading. Okay. Now, one of the other promotions that we have for you here is that you can actually head over to vip.ironfx.com, right? As long as you have, right, what's minimum account size? Okay, Kurt, the minimum account size, right? Just let me put it up for you over here. The minimum account size is that as long as you have a live IronFX account, all you need is to fund $250. If you already have a IronFX account, right, you just need to put in an additional $250, right? Email, this is the email that you want to email, right? This guy and me, Desmond Leong, right? This is the IronFX emails, right? Email us, and your subject is IronFX webinar promotion. Include your MT4 account number, and I will give you two things, right? First, I will give you the candlestick indicator. First, I'll give you the candlestick indicator, right? Second, we'll give you access to the VIP room that will be launching. I think we are already launching pretty soon. To import the indicator is quite simple. You just need to go and put it into your, you just need to load file, open data folder, right? MQL4, indicator. You just need to paste it into here. And there you go. Paste it into here and you get access and you get to load this indicator for your trading. Okay. Yeah, so this I can see some people asking. This does not include current balance, right? Actually, yeah, I believe it actually does not include current balance, right? So you need to, if you have an existing account, you need to top up $250, right, just to get access to this. This is to be fair to the new people and the existing people, right? I hope you understand, Kurt. Right? So as long as you just put in extra, right, just need to tell them, hey, you know, I funded a little bit more in my account, right, and you will get access to this. Now let me. Oh wait, just give me a second. I need to copy this email and send to you guys over here. These are the two emails that you want to you want to be sending to. Okay, I just copied it and pasted it in the chat for you guys, right? So yep, you just send these two. Your subject, you know, subject should be the IronFX webinar promotion and include your MT4 account number, and you get access to that. Okay, you will also get access to our VIP room, right? In the VIP room, what you'll be able to do is you can actually come in here, right? You can see a chart, right? And maybe you can say, you know, you find a support level over here. Hey Desmond, right? Is this a nice support level? What level are you referring to? Highlight the text, click this button, link object to text, click this nice little line you just drew. You'll notice that it lights up and you send the message through. So what happens is that when I see your message and I hover my mouse over this, I can see exactly the line that you're referring to. So you can practice your trend lines, you can practice your support and resistance, you can practice your Fibonacci, right? Anything that you do, you can link to your text and I can reply you. So this is an additional bonus that we're going to give for you guys. As long as you have $250 in your IronFX account, right? In whether you fund a new account or you deposit another $250, right? You're going to get access to the indicator and also the VIP room, right? Which is which is great, right? Because I think IronFX, we are previously, if you remember, it was a free access to the VIP room, but now they're raising the bar. It's getting they're slowly making it more expensive for people to get access to it. So I do want to encourage you that if you have, if you can, just grab early access before the bar is raised even further and they require like $5,000, $10,000 just to get access to the VIP room. Now they're running a promotion. It used to be free. Now it's just $250 in your account. So you just need to put in $250 in your account and you get access to this. Okay. Now, guys, Kurt, I hope that answers your question, right? I hope that answers your question on how to get access to the Candlestick Indicator and to the VIP room, right? Let me just put up a chat here. Let me just, here we go. Yeah, I hope that answers your question, right, guys? If no one else has any questions, rather, thanks for staying throughout this entire webinar, right? My name is Desmond, right? If anything, right, I want to encourage you guys that, you know, I'm a young guy. I'm 32 years old, right? I already am a full-time trader, right? Trading for a living, right? I run an entire prop trading firm over here, right? You just need to learn the right techniques, right? The amount of investments that IronFX is paying just for us to come and teach you guys is crazy, right? So make full advantage, take full advantage of it. Use the indicators, use the tools, learn the education. These are not things that you can find on Baby Pips. This is really top tier education, which is coming to you for free, right? Take full advantage of it, right? Get VIP room access. You get direct access to me compared to some other, you know, treasury departments out there or hedge funds, which pay like 10 grand a month just to get access to us, right? You get access to us for free, courtesy of IronFX. Take full advantage of it, right? And yeah, you know, I hope to see you guys in the VIP room. I hope to see you guys more often, right? Kurt, if you have just deposited $500 a couple of weeks ago, do me a favor, still send that email, right? I believe since it's more than 250, we can make an exception for that. Okay. Thank you so much for your time, guys. Thank you for staying throughout this entire webinar. Right. I hope you enjoyed this webinar. I hope you guys will be a little bit more active next time, you know, talk a little bit more so I don't feel like I'm talking to myself all the time. Otherwise, all right, guys, I'll catch you guys tomorrow for our live trading session, right? Go register for it if you have not, right? It's all you need to do is to go to IronFX.com. Let me send you the link. Please register for it, right? Go to IronFX School. Oops, give it a second. Webinars. And you probably want to go to this one called Trading Strategy Clinic. Very fun trading strategy clinic, right? Over here, you know, you get to come, you get to ask us your strategies, and we get to answer it in real time for you. Okay, so pretty fun stuff. All right, yeah. So we actually diagnose your strategy for you. We see what is right, what is wrong, how we can improve it. Okay, same time, same place tomorrow. Thank you very much, guys. Stay. If there's nothing else from me, stay safe. Trade safe, and I'll catch you guys again tomorrow. Okay, adios, guys. Bye bye.